Hello there and welcome back to the channel where today we are back with the final video of the year and the final episode of Tycoon news for 2018. This is the month of December, of course, and in this month of December the 31st, because I'm definitely not running out of time to record this, I may have panicked this morning and remembered I hadn't made this video. Yes, anyway, we've had a year filled with lots of good games, updates, and more, and I'm going to go ahead and look back at some of the games that were released this year, some of the updates that were announced for those games this month, and we're going to go and look forward to some of the games coming next year, and in general, some of the games that came out this month. So, on with the news for this month. We'll see how it goes. This is a very big episode as well. Lots to speak about. First up, we have Hotel Magnate, whatever you want to call it, Magnate, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, it's a Hotel Tycoon game, and it's coming out sometime in 2019. And it hasn't been a while since we covered this game, a long while, as in quite a few months, but there has been a couple updates and some new footage, which thank you to the developers for sending me some images to show you. It was very nice of them. It's an upcoming hotel management and building game, which some have compared to Software Inc. This last month, we got a sneak peek at what we could see from the game, as some of the new additions they had added came up in their devlog. There are a new AI being added, there's a new UI, and we got a sneak peek at some new hotel locations. Each of it apparently have their own set of unique challenges. For those of you wanting to see a diverse hotel design and management game, I would definitely recommend you add this one to your wish list. As you can see by the images, it does look like it could be very good. But of course, the game isn't all about its looks, it also has to have good gameplay as well. I would add it to your wish list. I'm very excited for this one, in fact, myself, as a hotel management game is something I've always wanted to play. I never really found anything that's lived up to expectations, so hopefully this lives up to mine and others' expectations. Moving on. Next up, we have Keep the Peace, which we haven't talked about, I don't think, on Tycoon News yet this year. So, if you haven't heard of it, it is a game that this year had a very huge Kickstarter push with very exorbitant goals, which sadly were not met, and the developers have decided to persevere and introduced a new concept, which they call the Alpha Team membership system. Before we go on, if you don't know what Keep the Peace is, it is a police management game. It is, you're in the role of managing the roles of a substantial police department, from a normal around-the-block beat to the SWAT and investigation teams. You have to manage it all and make sure the people in your vicinity are safe. Your city, your state, I don't know what you want to call it in America, because I'm in Scotland. It is a game that looks very good, but this Alpha Team system that I just mentioned, it's a bit like Patreon, where you give a monthly donation to the developers, allowing them to keep on developing the game to be the best as it can possibly be, and in return for that donation every month, you get to get behind the scenes images, videos, and come January to February time, you will actually get an early alpha game, a copy, sorry, of the game, to play and test for yourself, give feedback on, so the developers can essentially make the game as good as it possibly can be for release. As well, I think, I'm sure they'll have other systems within that later on in 2019, but at the moment, if you want more information, you can visit the links in the description, as well as you can for every other story we talk about on today's video. Moving along, we have Tech Executive Tycoon, which launched earlier this month to completely and utterly negative reviews. There were many people hyped for this game, including myself, in fact. However, the Technology Tycoon simulation, in which you play the part of an entrepreneur making a startup business, ended up failing in its most basic function, playability. While I have yet to play the Tech Executive Tycoon itself myself, that is a very bad script writing section. Looking at the Steam review, since December 22nd, after 4 years of development, the game is quote-unquote a train wreck, according to one Steam review. The game includes no hints, no tips, or direction as to how to play. It appears to be the first issue. The second issue being a substantial failing in the basic gameplay. Stuff like furniture, staff not working, the money system not working, your stock system not working. Stuff you buy doesn't appear, stuff you sell doesn't disappear. And mainly many broken screens in the game, which resulted in people having to hard restart the game and sometimes uninstall it and reinstall it before they could play the game again. Which is just horrible, to be honest. For a game that's in early access, you can excuse some things, but you can't excuse an unplayable game. And from what I can see, it is very unplayable. Feel free to go and check out the links in the description if you want to witness it for yourself, but From what I've been told by Steam reviews and other people talking to me about it, it is one to stay away from, sadly. Moving along, we have Assembly Required, which is an interesting game which launched this past month to positive reviews on Steam. It features a mix of tower defense and Tycoon gameplay to create what has been said to be an IKEA-style simulator. You begin with a small shop and factory type building in the game, in which you must build and design products while also designing, managing a busy shop floor with a constant challenge of keeping customers happy. But to keep customers happy in this game, you have to encourage them to spend all of their money. If they do not spend all of their money by the time they get to the exit, they complain and your rating goes down. Which is a very kind of reverse psychology, but I'm not complaining. The more money, the better, for me at least. But yeah, it's a bit of a weird game, and it's very good weird. You get games that are weird and bad. I would say this is a good game that is weird and good, all the better, sorry, for it. If I was wanting to see gameplay from the game, you can see the playlist I have linked in the description and in the cards. And there's also, of course, Steam and everything else. Discord's linked in the description as well. Moving on to Megaqurium, which after receiving a plethora of very positive reviews has gone on to receive many updates to the base game. This December, the game received its 1.1.16 update, which is a bit of a mouthful, might I add, which added a new and improved staff management system. This system includes a new zoning of staff system, so you can zone where you want them to work, a new information delivery system on what your staff are doing and what they can do, and a new job priorities tool allowing you to prioritize different jobs for different staff members across the board. In addition to this, there was a new tank added called the Chicago tank, in which you'll be able to place all 6 new decorations that were added in the update, which includes stuff like pirate ships and pyramids galore. Finally, Steam Cloud support has been added to the game for your game saves to be uploaded to the cloud to be stolen by cloud ninjas. I don't know. It's been a long day. It was operational launch. Well, it wasn't operational. It was a big bug which made it unoperational launch. So it was taken out of game, but has been back and has been added, back into the game, which is a very useful addition for those playing on different computers at different times. It is a game that I have not played this month, but it is a game that I think is a very good one if you want to pick up if you like fish and Tycoon games. If that's something you like together, I don't know, aquariums maybe, not fish in general. If you like eating fish, and you're better off with a fish eating simulator, I guess. But or a chef Tycoon, chef would work. Probably. That would work way better, wouldn't it? Anyway, moving along, we have Battle Royale Tycoon. Earlier this month, Battle Royale Tycoon finally launched to Steam in order to grasp the last of that Battle Royale hype train. It launched to very positive reviews on Steam, surprisingly, at least to myself. Despite its clickbaity appearance, it includes many great gameplay aspects, making it a joy to play. For me included. Those unaware of Battle Royale Tycoon, you were put in place of a sole manager of a budding arena fighting park, in which you have to design, build, and manage every aspect of that park. While the name hints at the Battle Royale aspect of the game, it actually includes many other features and game modes such as capture the flag, team deathmatch, and training stands as well, such as aim practice and other stuff like that. Shooting ranges as well would be one. For those of you interested in park managers or Battle Royale games in general, I would definitely recommend that you check this out. And if you're unaware, but unsure of whether or not to buy the game, you can check some of the video linked in the description would be better. I should not record these things late at night, very close to New Year's. That is probably a bad idea. Next, we move on to a new and upcoming game, Metropolisim. Metropolisim is an upcoming city building and management game coming to PC in 2019. It features a modern graphic design alongside its detailed zoning, building, and traffic systems akin to the old Sim City games. It allows you to take control and build a city of your dreams that you probably dreamed about last night. I don't know, I'm running out of smart things to say, puns and stuff, to be honest. It has an upcoming Kickstarter this month, so it's definitely one to sign up, for the newsletter, if it has one. I haven't actually checked if it has a newsletter, so I have no idea why that's in the script, but you know, most games have a newsletter, don't they? I'm sure it has a newsletter, even if it doesn't have an Instagram and a Twitter, which will be linked below. Moving on to a channel favorite, Smartphone Tycoon has had its PC release date announced alongside a new trailer. After a moderately streamed mobile addition to the series, the developers have gone on and worked on the main concept of Smartphone Tycoon. in order to produce what looks to be a very fully fleshed out Tycoon game, with some very interesting features taken across and expanded upon from the mobile entry. While there's not much info on the game right now, you can check out the trailer, which will be shown on the screen right now, some of it, and the Steam page, all linked below. It deserves a mention, I thought, because a lot of you do like the game from when I played the mobile game last year. Technically this year, but by the time most of you are watching it, it'll be 2019, won't it? I'm sure it will be. Hopefully. I really need to end 2018. Moving along, we have another upcoming game. Gym Empire is a gym management and simulation game looking to launch sometime later in 2019. As the name intends, you have a manager of a budding gym, which you have to micromanage in order to come out as the best gym around. It includes features such as training clients, sponsor deals, lawsuits, and an awesome progression system that takes you from your dumpy garage to a world-renowned gym if you have the skills to do so. That is quoting the developer, so I couldn't think of anything else up to say. Since we had a look at this last, the game has had a series of graphical updates alongside updates to the game's mechanics and overall feature set. This month's update highlighted a new update, there was lots of updates in that sentence, to the staff and clientele interaction system, and the addition of time controls and new menus to the game. The game should have an alpha being released to all the members of the developer's Discord server sometime soon in January. I highly recommend you hop over there and support the game in testing itself out. Finally, we have some new words from the developers of Skyhaven, the upcoming airport tycoon game. In a dev blog released this month, they detailed how the release date has been moved to 2019. I mean, if you hadn't noticed, we've only got a couple hours left in 2018. After releasing the game, they did more work to become the kind of game that the developers had envisioned. However, after this, we go on to get a sneak peek of some of the new additions they've worked on in the past couple months in September. These include a new game UI, which hopes will make the game more intuitive to play. It also includes stuff like daily reports of information for the player to use and act on accordingly. Other additions include a refueling service for aviation fuel, alongside parking for airport vehicles. These parking lots include also new information, such as service status and ability to connect to lots of certain... They call them ramps, but by ramps they mean, I think... You know, when a plane comes up to an airport, they have different areas to be at. You can assign a parking lot to one of these areas, and those vehicles will only service a plane at that area when that plane lands. So they won't start darting around the rest of the airport, if I'm interpreting that correctly. You can read the dev blog in full below if I'm getting any of this wrong. I shouldn't be, but I probably am. It in turn allows you to set specific vehicles to only operate at certain times with certain aircraft. The last feature they added was the ability for the player to negotiate contracts and getting more aircraft to your airport to make more money on the people that arrive. It looks like an amazing game graphically from what we have been shown. Let's just hope it lives up to the expectations in 2019. Well, that is the end of this month and this year's Tycoon news video. I do want to put a bit of an announcement here. If there's any weird noise in the background of this video, they are testing speakers for a huge New Year's party that's going on in the field in front of my house. That is the reason I tried to rush this. There will be a couple mistakes in my script and in the recording because I had to try and rush this out before I started playing the bloody music. They have started testing the speakers and they will test them for the next 2 hours. So I just got in before the end. I think Skyhaven and Gym Empire may have some weird background noise, but apart from that, we should be okay. I do want to say the entire house is vibrating. The speakers are that loud and they are about half a mile away. So, you know, it's going to be very annoying. I don't know how I'm going to sleep. Anyway, I just wanted to say that. This was the biggest episode yet. We had 10 games mentioned. Hopefully it's not too much and too little. Man alive, the script is long. It was 3 pages long this week. I mean 4, sorry, unlike the normal 2 to 3 that we normally have. It's a long script. I don't know if it's too long for videos. Tell me your feedback down below, and I'll get back to you in the new year. But hopefully we'll see you with January's Tycoon news and January's Let's Play videos. But until then, thank you very much for being around. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next year. Cheerio.